I don't hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Apologize for my topics this week, man. You know, I was a little occupied. Had a lot of things going on this week, man. You know, but
So we starting off 2022 with some with some ownership.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
That's the only way to do it, man. Start out with a little ownership, man. That's the only way to start off right. In 22, man. First episode. Starting off right. Yeah. Right. So
everybody probably watching college football anyway. So.
Hey, man. So first off, man, we're gonna thank some people, right? We're gonna thank some new listeners, man. We're gonna thank some new subscribers, man. Like, I'm so pumped up for this year, man. We had a pretty good year, man. And we had a pretty good year. So I most definitely want to thank everybody for making that happen. But I'm here to tell you, it's only gonna get better, baby. We ready, man. It's only gonna get better. We got some lineups, man. We got some things happening, and I'm pumped up, and I know you stay pumped up. So, man, we ready to rock and roll, man.
New listeners. Shout out to the new listeners. We got a lot of new listeners. We got a lot of new YouTube subscribers as well. So I mean, a lot of people came. I guess the Fat Leonard episode just kind of, people wanted to see some stuff. So we got some new listeners. So hey, I appreciate y'all and shout out to y'all. We're gonna have a good day today. We just gonna, not too crazy,
first
right?
Episode, man. It's the first episode back, man. So we got to get into some stuff, man. What's been going on? What we got going on in 22, man? What's been happening with you?
Hey, so before that, right? Let me ask you a question. Do you got a New Year's resolution?
Oh, man, I don't really do I used to do the New Year's resolution, man. Right now, if you want to call this a New Year's resolution, man, like my plans, like I got plans for 22 on things I want to accomplish, but I don't necessarily like say, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay, I'm going to run every day. I don't have those New Year's resolutions, but I do got plans for 22, man. I really want to have a plan for a business, like have it like damn near finalized in 22, right? Yeah. But I don't necessarily like have another plan, man. Like, I'm supposed to be running all the time anyway, man. I'm supposed to be trying to keep my weight down anyway, so I don't have none of those resolutions. What you got? Yeah. You got one?
It's funny. I was talking to my boy Rel, my man Rel, on the phone, and I'm like, man, like we were talking about, hey, man, next year, like this year, man, I ain't trying to do this, I ain't trying to do that, and I realized, I'm like, damn, we actually have resolutions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never really, that wasn't really something that when I was in my 20s, I'm like, yo, I'm never having a resolution. Come on,
I used to have one every year.
I'm gonna be the same way. Popeye's chicken, 40 ounces. I used to have like, one this every year, be forever.
Yeah, you're right though, man.
Now I'm like,
I used to come up with them all the time though, man. Like, I used to come up. I used to like live them for like maybe 2 months, man, 3 months. I used to be like in it.
Yeah.
But then of course, the same day would come back out. Something, you know what I'm saying? Same day would start showing up, man. You know what I mean?
Like, now I'm like, yo, no hard liquor. I'm only gonna drink wine.
Yeah.
Maybe the plum wine. Who knows? So I mean, it's a couple of things we want to do. Me and my wife, we want to lose some weight. We've been kind of eating healthy. I didn't realize how much weight you lose just by eating healthy.
What you talking about, man? Like, people used to tell me all the time, man. I used to be like a workout guy, like all the time, and eating was one of the things, man. I used to read about it all the time, man. They always say like 80-20, 90-10. Man, like 80, 90 is what you put in your body, and the rest of it is working out. And I believe in that, man. Especially when you eat healthy, man. You don't have to even work out that much if you're eating healthy.
Yeah, I ain't realized that. Hey, another thing, if you're a new listener, hey man, we gonna be catching up a little bit and see how each other doing. It's been a while since the last time we talked to each other. So if you're looking for some salacious Fat Leonard content, you gonna catch us catching up with each other. I mean, I'm Fat Leonard right now. I gotta get myself back in shape.
Me too.
Stuff
man.
like that. So you're gonna catch us catching up with each other. But look, we appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube page. Hey, so I do want to tell you something happened today. So I went to the gym, right? I told you I've been kind of doing my healthy stuff, right? So I go to the gym, right? You know which gym it was, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What gym was
Planet Fitness.
it? Yeah, so it's Planet Fitness, right? So I'm on my way to Planet Fitness, right? So I stop at like it's a stoplight. So I stop at the stoplight. Dude, the stoplight turned green. The moment the stoplight turned green, the car behind me honking a horn. The moment the stoplight turned green, I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? So I turned into the Planet Fitness because it was the turn of going to Planet Fitness. So I don't like this person was going to Planet Fitness too, right? Little did they know I was going to Planet Fitness too, right? So I turn in, so I'm in front of them still, right? I turn and I make the turn into, the Planet Fitness parking lot. And I saw that when I hit that right turn signal to turn into Planet Fitness, I saw his car like slow down a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I pull into my parking spot, but I want to, I got the camera, so I want to back into the parking spot.
Yeah.
So I pull into the parking spot. I'm when you're trying to back in with your camera and somebody like behind you don't know what you're doing. Like, so I'm like, man, I'm like, yo, but the dude he ain't want to go. He ain't want to move his car, right? He was hesitant, right? So I knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to wait it out. Yeah. He wanted like me to park and like get in the gym before I got a chance to see who he was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So I let him go. He wound up going and parking. So I had some stuff I had to collect, right? So I'm collecting my stuff and I'm realizing, now mind you, if he beat this horn right when the light turned green, that means he was in a rush. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was in a rush to go somewhere, right? We get in the parking lot. This dude is the most patient dude in the world, man. And I'm waiting. Now I'm not trying to do nothing ignorant or crazy, but I just want to ask him like, hey, dude, like, what was the rush? That's all I wanted to know, right? Because I know how crazy people are now, especially like in parking areas and stuff like that. So I wasn't gonna go to his car. I wasn't gonna go to this dude's car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was gonna wait till he got out his car and be like, hey, dude, like, what was the rush, man? Yo, he waited me out, man. I'm actually in a rush. I'm trying to get the workout because I had to start working.
Yeah.
Right. I telework today, so I had to start working. So I get in the gym. I'm like, man, I don't care about this dude. And then I feel like, so I think he waited till like other people came in, but I feel like I knew which dude like he was. I feel like I knew which dude he was, man. But it's like, you can't say nothing then because then they'd be like, no, like, what's up? But I was like, man, I would have been like poetic justice though, man. But that's it. That's not no moral to the story, nothing at all, man. This dude just thought that he was about to rush somebody, and then he found out I was going to the same place as him.
Yeah, man. Imagine that shit, huh? Yeah. Caught him off guard, man. Caught him off guard. Man.
Yo, I'll be super serious about the parking stuff too, man. I got ran down like somebody cut me off in a parking lot when I first got to San Diego base some years ago. I was fired up, man. Yeah. I was steamed up. Like I went up to his car. I'm like, yo, what? Like you knew I was parking. Like I probably should have done it different because like the rank is a lot of stuff, But I'm like, yo, what's up, man? This like human to human right here. What's up? It was crazy, man. What's been up with you, man?
Oh man, I've been having a blast, man. Tell you the truth, man. From probably from Christmas on, man. Like Christmas came down, man. Freaking kids was like very excited, man. They was really like, we really went, I ain't gonna say we spent more money wise though, but where we spent the money at this time, I think it made a difference in everything, man. Like for example, man, I bought my daughter, and I think this was bigger than any present she ever got, man. Believe it or not, and it wasn't that as much money that I normally would spend, but I got her tickets to Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Right. And I think that alone, man, like, even though it wasn't cheap, don't get it twisted, but but like that by itself, man, she broke down. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, man. She broke down, man, and everything. That was good stuff, man. I felt real good about that, man.
Angeline told me about it, but I ain't see it.
Yeah, man. It was pretty good, man. And then, my son just graduated boot camp.
Yeah, yo, congrats, Mark.
Yeah,
congrats
man.
to Mark.
He just graduated on the 7th. We went up there, man, and I wanted to like for anybody who didn't graduate boot camp and been gone for a while, up there, man. I really think everybody should go back up there, man. Man, them kids, it's I don't know what it is, man, to me, but I don't think it's the kid, man. These kids were so humble up there, man. These kids up there ready to go to show up on these ships, man, ready to rock and roll. I don't know what it is in the between time when they get to the ship.
That A school, man.
It gotta be
that
A school, man. I don't know what it mean. I was up there, man. Dude,
the
fleet returnees. They hit them up. I don't know what happened, man. Look, I went up there, man. Morning, seeing Chief. Morning. I went up there. They put me in the VIP, man. So they YouTube this thing. I'm up there with the Admiral. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm up there VIP. You couldn't tell me nothing, but my chest was all big up there, man. I'm here to tell you, man. It was good. It was real good, man. I came out there, and then all like Mark little friends, he got in there, man, up there, and then Mark talking to me. They all coming up to him, coming up to him. Like, morning, seeing Chief, and I started talking to him. Morning, seeing Chief. I was like, I got a little tired of saying good morning though, but other than that, man, it was a hell of an event though, man. Like the whole we went through, man, it seemed like that shit was like freaking 20 minutes, 30 minutes, man. It's like Hollywood up there, man. Yeah, it's like they go all out up there for those graduations now, man. Like different people coming from the bands. To like the rifle people doing some stuff, man. Flag, they got all 50 flags. They doing like stuff with them though. You know what I mean? It's like they went through everybody's song. You know what I mean? Like not the Navy, the Air Force, everybody, even freaking Space Force had their little song, man. Yeah, man. Like everybody had something, man, going on up there. So it was a pretty big event. Then he left. We didn't have him out there. He had to be back at 2000, man. He thought it was 21, right? So he thought it was 21, and his RDC hit Ella up around 1950, 750. He was like, hey, just checking to see his Mark back in. I said, then I came over because he was on the thing, so I came over and said, hey, we was told he's supposed to be back at 21. So we just dropped him off, and he was like, "Is this Senior Chief?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "So some Mark had to tell him that I was a Senior Chief or something," because I was just talking to him. I ain't come out to say anything. And he said, "Yeah, it was a little confusion. We sent it out earlier because the people who they got the 2100 was the people who got held back because Mark had to leave at like 3:30 in the morning the next day. So they want those guys. Yeah, they want those guys back early." So yeah, man, it was
Pensacola.
Yeah, Pensacola, yeah, and they got on a bus, dude. They bust them down there, man. I'm assuming that's a COVID thing right there because they don't want them on plane, don't want them to get sick and all that stuff. So
I got hit up somebody from Pensacola. They said tell Mark, let Mark know they, if he need anything, they could reach out to him. Somebody down there. So I gotta send you that information.
Man. Good stuff, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Good time though, man. So what's up with you, man? What you up to?
What else happened though? What else happened for your holiday?
What else happened for my holiday?
Anything?
I'm trying to think. No.
So did you do anything for New Year?
Yeah, we did. We did a little something. wasn't too much though. We went over to my friend's house, hung out.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing too crazy, man. Like the normal spot, man. We couldn't get into Pachanga, man. We was trying to get in there, man. They wasn't doing. Pachanga shut it down, man. So we ain't do nothing there. So we just hung out a little bit, man. Wasn't too much of nothing.
Yeah. So for New Year, I mean, you already know that we launched PTSF Presents the Fam Room, where I'm talking to people. So I talked to. On New Year's Eve, I want to say I talked to an old friend of mine, Gregory Davison, musician. At this point, I just might as well just call him a musician all around. I mean, from like rock, alternative, punk, some punk, and now even like some hip hop inspired stuff. So I sat down with him for less than an hour and talked to him. We had a good chat. It got like real music nerdy. And then I bought in the new year actually talking to Angeline. Me and Angeline, we sat down I thought it was going to be like a little bit of time, but it was like a PTSF episode pretty much. So we sat down and we talked about, the year. We talked about everything that we did, and it looks like it's going to be an annual thing that we do. So it looks like we're going to do it next year too. It's going to be much better next year because we already know we're going to do it. I kind of came up with this idea like, when I woke up, I was like, hey, babe, we're going to sit down and talk about the year. And I know she's been wanting to kind of record our conversation, not for like public consumption, but just for like our own like memory bank.
Yeah.
But we just never had I never had a like concept. So because I was relying on her to get the concept.
Mm-hmm.
But I never had a concept, but we did find one for this 2021. So we did another episode called 2021. So we launched a fan room with 2 episodes. Then me and you, we were guests on a podcast that's coming out soon. Big time podcast that's coming out soon. So, I mean, I think by this time the Eagles were already clinched in the playoffs.
Well, man, let me tell you about the Eagles, man. You know what, man? Speaking of that, I don't want we're not gonna get too much into
the playoffs clinched.
I'm glad you brought this up, man. I didn't bring it up. Hey, world, clinched, I did not bring it up. He brought it up. So I was confused a lot, man. Like we beat you guys this year head to head, but you guys clinched the playoffs. We got the same record, and you guys clinched the playoffs before we clinched the playoffs. And I was confused, but then I kind of knew what they was talking about, because if the Saints would have tied up with all 3 of us, it would have been like a 3-way tie deal, and it would have had nothing to do with head-to-head battles. It had something to do with the conference wins. So that's why you guys would be in. So yeah, I understand, man. It's all good, man. But we all in. You guys are number 7 seed, and we are number 6 seed. So I want to clear that up, make sure that was out there. But yeah, man.
You planning on going to see the Kurt Warner movie?
No, I ain't going to see no Kurt Warner movie, man.
You saw the previews?
I might watch it though. I like watching inspirational movies and stuff though. But it looked like before this movie even came out, I knew he had a story. You know what I mean? From bagging groceries to Super Bowl type deal. So I know he got a story, but I'm most definitely not going to movies to see it though.
It's funny. I always thought his story would make a cool movie until I saw the previews. Then I was like, nah, I don't know about this one. They could have kept this one with that national championship, the national champion movie they got coming out. Man, you saw the previews of that national champions? Oh, you ain't. Oh, okay, all right. And then I know we talked about going to see that movie Journal for Jordan.
Yeah.
That movie has some bad reviews, so I mean, we'll see what happens, because that's supposed to be like our military movie.
Yeah.
But another gift that I bought was the Oculus.
Yeah.
Right. And I think y'all got an Oculus at y'all house, right?
So a long time ago, man, like Ella had said she wanted one. So I kept that little nugget a long time ago, man. So I got her one, man. And go ahead, man. But we got one too, though.
Yeah. So I've been around. It's a place in Oculus called Venues. Weirdest thing ever. I don't want to get too deep into Oculus yet, but it's a place called Venues where you could go and you could talk to people like in Oculus world. And it's like people, like, regular. It's like being on social media, but in a virtual, world. So I went to some, like, I just wanted to see people. There's people in there talking about all types of crazy stuff, man.
Yes.
Like crazy, like unfiltered, stuff. Like it was crazy. So, this one. Now I don't even want to say what he said. Never mind. I don't get us in trouble. Like first episode back, right? By repeating what somebody else said.
Yeah.
But I went to this wrestling room, and I don't watch wrestling, but I went to this wrestling room, and there was a dude in there. And he was like, "Damo, this is crazy, ain't it?" And I'm like, I got to get out of here, man. Like I wasn't trying to actually like talk to people. Like I know, man. It was just like walking. It's and like it's like they got like office workspaces. Like you could like scan your desk. You could go into like an office space and have a work meeting, like Zoom, but it's like virtual where you could see people.
Yeah.
Y'all could dip off and go talk to each other. It's already there. I thought like all of this stuff was like stuff that was going to be coming soon.
Yeah.
All this stuff is already in that Oculus world. So I try my best to limit my time on Oculus. So every time I get on, I'm probably on for like less than an hour. Plus I don't have a video game attention span like anymore where I could really sit, with the game for too long. But that Oculus is crazy,
Dude,
and I can only
crazy.
see it getting crazier.
Crazy, man. If you don't have, I'm about to buy me one. That's how crazy it is, man.
Yeah. I need to.
Because I tell you, man, we went like me and Ella freaking. I guess he got something free, man. I'm at the Atlanta and Philadelphia game live on courtside.
Yeah, you could go. Yep.
Courtside, right there, man. I'm like at the game, like looking at it, old big MB lay it up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, dude.
Killing them, man.
Yeah.
I just signed up. I signed up for to watch some game.
Yeah. Then me and like this morning, man. I know we're gonna come back to this, but this morning, man, we worked out to it, man. We got this boxing thing, man. Like every morning, me and Ella, like maybe like 25, 30 minutes, a little boxing thing from getting low and punching, jabs and all type of stuff, man. I be tired as hell on that damn thing, man.
Is it the Creed game or is it the other boxing game? Just the regular boxing, dude, Rise the Glory fight?
I don't know which one I get the name, man, because Ella once set it up. She sets the whole little workout thing. I just put it on and go. Yeah,
they got like a bar fight game too. I don't know. I might have to check that one. check that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. If anybody, I mean, it ain't like a plug or nothing, but it's definitely super fun. Like the Oculus is super fun. Yeah. I also watched the movie Jason's Lyric for what I think was the first time ever.
Wow.
Right? Did you watch that?
Man, a long time ago.
Yeah. I had a lot of issues with that movie, man. You know what I mean? So first off, to make it completely clear, it was a good movie, right? Like good, like 3 out of 5 good, not great, not excellent. It was a good movie. So that's my clearance. Like it's a good movie, like for clarity purposes, right?
Yep.
It was based out of Texas. So in the 90s, that was rare, right? Like, because we had like Minister Society stuff based out of like Cali, and then we had like Juice and stuff like that based out of New York. But Jason's Lyric was based out of Texas. And like they made like the gangster characters look like cartoonish. Like I think Eddie Griffin was on there. He had like the perms. It was like a lot of like cartoonish, characters. And then Bokeem was going real hard with the cartoon kind of like acting. I don't know if you remember anything about this movie, but the thing that I remember that I know could not fly in 2022 was this dude, Alan Payne. He was trying to get Jada Pinkett's like number, right? He tried to get her number for a while.
Yeah.
Lyric. Well, Jason was trying to get Lyric's number for a while. Not long, but he ran into her a couple of times. And then he caught her one day and she got on a bus. They was in a restaurant. She was getting off work. I don't know if you remember this movie at all. But she gets on a bus to go home.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs keys to the truck from Eddie Griffin, hops in the truck. He follows the bus all the way to her crib. That's a charge in 2022, bro.
Yes. You're not doing that in 2022, bro.
That's not romantic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And somebody was like, yo, it just depends on the guy. I don't know if that's the case in 2022, man.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, in 2022, you can be freaking Brad Pitt, one of the top 100 best looking men in the world. If you follow a young lady home and get off there and she get off that bus and you show up there at her house, oh, dude, that's a no-no. They call the cops.
It's crazy, man.
You getting cops called.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you though.
Yeah, what up, man?
I saw this post before. It was a while ago, and I posted it. But on the back end, right? You ever heard that like said before, like on the back end?
Yeah, like
yo, I get you. Yeah. When have you heard it?
I don't know, man. I just heard it before when people be talking like for example, if I pay for something and they'll be like, "Hey, man, you go ahead and pay it right now. I get you on the back end." You know what I mean?
You ever
some
heard
shit
it
like
in the
that.
Military?
Huh? In the military?
You ever heard it in the military?
Maybe when it comes to like. Maybe when it comes to things like cranking, hey man, you go ahead and send another sailor, man, I get you on the back end. Or some shit, some stuff like that, man.
If y'all come in, Chang might put it out, right? If y'all come in on Saturday, tell your guys come in on Saturday, and we're gonna get these guys, individually on the back end. Most likely.
Most definitely heard it before.
Did you do the back end ever come?
It depends on the sailor, man. And well, no. I take that
What?
No, I take that back. No. It depends on a couple things here, man. One,
Yeah.
back to it depends on the say, look, how persistent they are, because we try to forget about it. Two is, I guess it depends on who says it, man. You know,
Yeah.
If you out there and you had, say you got some kind of khaki call, or you had departmental call, and it comes from the chain, or it comes from your CO or XO or somebody, your young sailor is gonna make sure you know that got put out. You know,
Yeah.
so my take, I think it happened to us on the Rafael Peralta, man. And I remember telling DC my LPO to get like a watch bill for when he's gonna let these people off, because you can't let everybody off at the same time. You know what I mean? So I remember telling him that, because I think it came from the chain. I think we had some stuff going on with, I don't know if it was insert, I don't know, something inspection happened. And I know we was working late. I think we worked on the weekend or some shit like that. And I remember we would get him on the back end, man. And yeah, it was crazy, man.
Did you get him?
Yeah, man. He did it. I stayed out of that, man. He worked it. I ain't had no complaints come to my way, so I'm assuming everybody got their time off. Because
it's nothing. What's up?
Because kids ain't got no problem with coming and knock on your door and tell you, hey, they ain't get their day off. So I'm assuming everybody was good.
I think the hardest day off to get is the day off that you get for being like the seller of the quarter, or the seller of the week, or whatever. Like that be like, it's always a seller like, yeah, I never got my day off from seller of the quarter 2 quarters ago. Like
I be like 2 quarters ago. 2 quarters ago.
Yeah, how come you ain't tell me? I did tell you.
Oh
man.
But you know what?
All right, so
yeah, go ahead.
What's up?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the same thing, man. Like it depends on two, man. Like for example, you got a division of 3 or 4, man. It's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of rough.
Gotta give them their liberty, man. You gotta give them their liberty,
out, I guess.
Man.
Yeah.
In 2022, man, we want to go into 2022, like giving people their time on the back end, man. We want to actually give people their time on the back end in 2022. Man. You know what I'm saying? Let's make that a thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that we want to go into 2022 doing is taking damage control serious, man.
Yeah.
We can't play around with that, man. That's not an option.
It's not an option, man, at all. And we most definitely as leaders got to take it seriously, man. Like I know one thing we know that everybody got a job to do. You know what I mean? But people that also got to understand is one of those jobs is damage control. And we got to take it more seriously. Like you got people out there doing different things to make sure your damage control stuff is good to go, but it is a collective win for everybody if everybody taking a look at their shit. You know what I mean? You can't a DC man can't go around and see everything, right? So we got things in place for that, though. Things are in place like compartment inspections and things like that. I'm not gonna go as deep into it, but things like that that's in place for everybody to take a look at their own stuff to make sure it's squared away, man. Make sure it's good to go. Because one thing we know, we could be complacent all day, but it only take one time, man. One time.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just my little take on it, man. But you're right, man. In 2022, not only are we gonna take damage control seriously, it really sounds like the Admiral gonna take it seriously too, because he put out a message. I know on my side anyway on Pacific, and put out a message like, I don't know if you saw it yet, but it pretty much said ain't no but everybody standing duty except the triad. Master Chiefs, everybody is standing duty on surface ships. Now they ain't got nothing to do with carriers, because that's aviation side of it and all that stuff, but on carriers, I mean on surface ships, everyone is standing duty now. No exemptions. And that all came from the BHR too, though. Some of that stuff anyway.
I knew that was gonna come out right when I made senior chief, man. I knew that was gonna come out right when I made senior chief, man. Right before Master Chief. It's like when you get to the new command and they like, yo, before you came, we was at like 12, 16 section duty. You know, now we in like 6.
That's exactly what happens, man.
Yo, for ages, Master Chief's ain't been in the duty section for ages, for hundreds of years.
And I wonder, hey, and you know what, man? Like, hey, we on a podcast, Permission to Speak Freely, man. So I want to say something. I want to put something out, man. And I don't care who it is, man. I don't care if it's a Master Chief or it's a E3. Can somebody holler at me on Permission to Speak Freely and tell me if those Master Chiefs are standing watch or they standing duty? Not watch, duty. You know what I mean? Or it's just the same thing. It's the same thing happen, or they're standing duty, they being section leaders, they doing what they doing, they on duty. I want to know if they on duty, because I think personally, man, that the message come out, but if they leave it up to the commands, you know what I mean? I think they pretty much gonna do the same thing, So I don't know. I just want to know.
I think the thought process, and I think everybody probably already know what the thought process is, but I think the thought process is have them there as a forceful backup, and that's whether they stand watch or not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're not going to be standing watch.
I don't think they're going to stand watch.
They might stand watch.
But I think that duty being
duty, like section leader, something like that. Yeah. But I think that is more about, you got a Master Chief on board. You know what I mean? So that's forceful backup.
Yeah,
I mean, some people are out of practice, and I ain't just talking about Master Chiefs, Senior Chiefs. Yeah. So sometimes feeling like, but you just got that authority, you got that authority, somebody that's going to take that job super serious, and like hold it down, regulate, be the authority when needed to be. I think that's pretty much the concept behind it.
I tell you one thing, though, man, when we were standing section leader, man, it wasn't nobody there for me to go chill somewhere, man. I was the section leader, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was the guy. It wasn't nobody there that was in training. Wasn't nobody there just waiting me out. I had a watch be a coordinator. You know what I mean? But I didn't. All the section leader stuff I was the section leader, man. Like, that was it, man. It wasn't nothing else to it.
You saying you didn't chill? Or are you saying it wasn't nobody? Oh,
yeah. Real? It wasn't no like I see. You hear people talking about it, man. And they always like, yeah, we got the senior chief there being the section leader, but we got a chief there too. We got this person that's trying to. They got a radio too. Nah.
Yeah.
We had that.
Well, I like to take this moment to give a shout out to Senior Chief Matt Revis, who stood duty with you. Who just heard you say that you never chilled,
on
as
duty,
a section leader.
Yeah, Matt Revis. You know what, Matt Revis, man. I'll let your boy, man. Hey, first off, man, it was I think Matt just finally got out of the Japan, man. So it's been a while, man. I think he finally got some orders, man, back here in going. I don't know where he's going to, but somewhere in San Diego, which is a good thing for him, man. He been seeing that boy been out to sea for a long time, it seemed like, anyway. So big shouts out to Matt. And yeah, man, Matt know what time it is, man. When I was section leader, he was actually EDO though, so he was working probably a little bit harder than me. But
just a little bit.
Just a little bit harder than me.
Just a wee bit.
But yeah, man, we most of the time I was on board that ship, man, he was in the same section, man. So big shouts out to Matt, man. Keep doing great things, man.
What's your thoughts on SkillBridge refusals? I say that because I was online and I saw somebody talking about, they proposed to their chain of command or something that they wanted to do SkillBridge for before they got out. I think we talked about this on an episode that never came out, I think.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, though? Do you think it's ever a reason to refuse SkillBridge?
Yeah. I most definitely think it's a reason to refuse SkillBridge. And it's a hard thing to do for a CO to say no to a sailor who done 20 plus years or whatever the case may be. It's a hard situation, but in certain circumstances, you can do SkillBridge up to 6 months, man. I don't think, depending on the location, depending on the job, that a CO can lose certain rates and certain NECs for that length of time, so I think that's where the line draws at. For example, if you one of one, example of you're short-handed, you're all this type of stuff. I think the sailors who get a head start on it is the ones that win. And when I say a head start, is getting your relief there, on time, and say I'm doing SkillBridge at this time. My relief gonna be at this time. I don't see a CO saying no to it if everything falls in line. But I have already seen circumstances at my command where the CO said no to it all from a sailor, and it was because they was one of one there. So I see that happening. Even with me, I want to do skill bridge when I get out. I want to do it, but I also know it's only 2 DC men there. You know, at the command. So I know right now it's gonna take, you know, me getting somebody there to replace me, or I'm not gonna do skill bridge.
So you getting out after this command?
I'm not sure about that. Like I'm just putting. Actually, I'm sending my package out today for command scene chief. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's a possibility still, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got a bunch of new listeners, man, and I know we shouted them out earlier, and we've been doing a lot of personal talk and catching up, and getting kind of to know each other, what we've been through since the last time we talked, and it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Believe it or not, man, it don't seem like it though, right? It don't. I mean, it don't seem. It seems like we know we haven't talked in a minute, but at the same time, man, when you look at the numbers, man, it has been a while, man, since we put an episode out. So maybe because of the fact that we did a little interview too. Maybe that's why I'm thinking that too. We did something like in between a little bit.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it to me.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I miss talking to you, man. I'm like, man, there go Damon, man. I miss seeing that Niners hat, man.
Hey,
scroll across my screen, man.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Some old Miss gear or something. You know what I mean?
Man.
So for me, I'm like, damn, we back. You know what I'm saying? Like this
pumped
is
up,
it,
man.
Like,
ready to go.
We are back, man.
Ready to go, man.
In that time, though. In that time, we had a few, like 2022 already. We had like 3 celebrities pass away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Star Wars.
Sidney. What happened?
Like Star Wars of the game too, man. Big time people, man. Like.
Oh yeah. Superstars. You know, superstars. Like we definitely had some superstars, like Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and the connection between that and PTSF is like, Sidney Poitier was in the military. So before we even talk about Sidney Poitier, I'm gonna first start with somebody that doesn't really have a military background, and that was like Bob Saget. So we just found out Bob Saget passed away. I think I found that out yesterday.
I think I found the day this morning. I got up.
Like, damn, Bob Saget, like 65 years old. Yeah. As of the last I heard is they didn't really know why he was just found.
Yeah, they didn't know yet. They didn't know yet. And let me tell you about that, man. Just the Bob Saget thing, man, like hit me a little bit, man. I grew up on Full House, right? Yeah. Full House was one of those shows that when you go outside and turn your antenna a certain way because you didn't have cable, you get ABC.
Yeah.
Right. So I was able to watch, I think it was ABC or NBC, one of them. I was able to watch Full House. So I grew up on Full House, man. So that kind of like hit me a little bit. Then I because I was thinking, they was young back then. So I went and checked this age. That's when I knew, 60-some years old. I'm like, dang, man, that's young now, man. That's 60-some is young. Now,
it's young, man. 65 is young.
But yeah, man, that was a big hit right there, man.
Yeah, definitely ABC. Definitely crossed the barriers and everything. I think they was calling him America's dad.
Yeah.
And that was anybody, you know what I mean? Like whether you grew up urban, rural, metro, like whatever, like anywhere, that was, Full House was big and, families. So Bob Saget, condolences to, his family and, stuff like that. But military related, Sidney Poitier. He was in the army. He was in the army during World War II. He wasn't in the army long, right? So, so he was in the army during World War II. He was a physiotherapist, right? And he joined at 16.
Yeah.
So he faked his age. He acted like he was 18, just so he could get into the army. And then he faked a psychiatric disorder so he could get out of the army. Right. So lilies of the field, in the heat of the night, guess who's coming to dinner? Some of his biggest biggest movies, Oscar winning movies, stuff like that. But I mean, Sidney Poitier, man, he broke barriers in Hollywood,
Yeah.
a lot of ethnic barriers, racial kind of barriers that was going on at its time when it came to the roles that black actors could play.
Yep.
So yeah, Sidney Poitier was definitely super dope and a hero. I mean, you might not even get me and you on YouTube, without
Yeah.
sacrifices made from somebody like Sidney Poitier.
Yeah,
So
most definitely, man.
rest in peace to Sidney Poitier, and condolences to his family as well. World War II Army veteran.
Yeah, man. Big time, man. Big time. I tell you one thing about Sidney Poitier. First off, in the heat of the night, I grew up on that shit too, man. That song
Mm-hmm.
come on, you automatically know what time it is when the heat of the night come on. My mom was a big fan. That's why I watched a lot of stuff I watch and a lot of the music I should listen to all the time is because my family was doing it, me at that time. But so Heat of the Night was one of the big shows in my household, man. And I just, when we talk about people like Sidney Poitier and stuff like that, man, when you put their name into Google or anywhere you type their name up there, man, their name comes up with the greats, man. When your
Yeah,
name pop
yeah,
up with
yeah.
the greats, man, you know you doing something, man. He was one of those people. 'Cause I think he just got a medal for something from Obama. When Obama was in office, man. So he's big time, man. He been, I think, the presidential medal or something, but he been doing it for a while, man. I'm talking about, like, I'm just looking right now all the movies and stuff. He got books out, he got all type of stuff, man, that's out on him, man. So it's big time, man. Condolences to his family, man. But he was 94 years old, so he was one of those guys that he lived, man, and he lived the right way, and he did things the right way. So condolences to the family, man, and big shouts out to him, man, for breaking the barriers that he broke.
Yeah, greatness, class personified, man. And then we also, so he was 94,
Yeah,
right? So, like you said, he had a long life, he lived greatness, he got to smell his flowers, everything like that, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
we also lost Betty White at
yeah.
99.
Yeah,
Like what, like weeks, like not too far before she actually turned 100.
yeah,
So um she had a tie-in with the war as well. She American Women's Volunteer Service for the Army during World War II.
yeah,
So
man.
she volunteered to do some stuff for the Army during World War II.
Yep.
So she was helping out, like kind of moving things back and forth, maybe doing some like entertainment, stuff like that. So Betty White, man, she actually got a tie into the military as well.
And the army actually gave her a shout out. You know what I mean? Like, gave her a shout out. So that's a big deal, man. But let me tell you something that I noticed during the years and years and years, man. Betty White, man. Betty White was always active. She had to be the oldest active person I know, man, when it comes to
Yeah,
like commercials, still in little movies here, doing all this little stuff, man. At her age, she was 90 some years old, and she was still actively doing a lot of stuff, man. She never stopped working, man. So, again, condolences to her, man. 99? What?
yeah,
Almost
Golden
100 years
Girls.
old, man, and active the way she was, man. That's what we dream of, man. Like being like that, man, being that active, and the way she and moved around and did the things she did at her age, man. So yeah, man, that's a big deal, man. But she's gonna be a loss, man. Like, just like Sydney, man, they are lost. You know what I mean, from the things they
Yeah,
did. But
Betty
we,
White was another one of those people too that it didn't matter like who you were, like how you were brought up. Like you love Betty White.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we all love Betty White.
most definitely, man, most definitely. One of
You was
them.
about to say something else?
No, no, no. I was just thinking about it, man. Off the top of my head, just about you know, uh, just the whole. This has nothing to do with Betty White or Sydney, man, but just the whole thing of people we done lost in the end of last year and then the beginning of this year, man. It's just like crazy, man. For everybody that's out there, man, love on your people, man. You never know, man. It's a lot of stuff that's happening right now in the world, man, with Corona and all type of stuff that's happening, man. So love your people, talk to your people, man, things like that, because you never know when something could happen, man. Any day, any day. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
because I know we had this
We
athlete, man.
lost a
Like,
lot of
I don't know if
family too.
the athlete receiver, man, Thomas. Dude was like 38 years old, man. like 38 years old,
Yeah, I saw
man.
that.
It's crazy, dude. Crazy. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of family members, and it always happened around this time. This time of year, this season, from Christmas through
Yeah.
damn near Valentine's Day, almost.
Yeah.
It always happened. Like that. I got a question for you. Through 2021,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think for you is like your champion as far as the Navy through 2021? So, for instance, like my champion of the year for the Navy. So whether it be like a new incentive, something that got better, something nav admin that came out, something that improved. So for me, my champion is my Navy HR. I think my Navy HR is the champion of the year. Like for me, they were impressive. We joke about them trying to keep up with us and
Yeah.
not being able to keep up with us and stuff like that. But they were impressive as far as getting information out, right? And then getting out other kind of information, whether it be a video or like some quick links that like super supported the information and made it like I hate to say the word, but like seller proof, like made it really easy to digest. Like if you didn't understand something from a nav admin and it might be too long to read it, my Navy HR gonna come out with a 4-minute video or a 5-minute video that's easily breaking down, whatever it was. If it was something that they needed to deep dive, they had more than one video. They had deep dives. They broke down the CPO boards, the selection boards. They did a whole lot last year that needed to be done. So my champion of 2021 is my Navy HR.
Yeah. Um, my champion of this year, man, is gonna be the nav admin that came out to for travel claims using from the travel standpoint, using your government credit card. I'm gonna say this because of the fact of I've been in some situations before where I stayed at this place for like 10 days, man. And and lucky for me and my family, we had the money to stay longer at this certain location. But I'm never all the time we thinking about stuff. I'm always thinking in the time of what if I was a junior sailor? And those 10 days, I think they give you like 10 days when you're traveling, they pay for and stuff. When that time frame runs out, now you got to start using your money. What if I didn't have that money to use? You know what I mean? So I'm pretty excited about the whole travel thing. Everyone having a government credit card to travel with. Now I know it's some more information
Yeah.
probably going to come out about it, about them turning it on and all this type of stuff. But my thing is, I'm just excited about sailors having not to worry when they're traveling. You know what I mean? I don't care if they going on in a car driving. I don't care if they on a plane. I don't care where they at. They don't have to worry about that because they have a government credit card. So big shouts out to the Navy for getting that out and being an outlet for people to use and hopefully people don't use the wrong way and take advantage of that situation because I think it'll help a lot of people out. Now, but I do have a not so champion too, man. And that's freaking.
Let's go.
That's freaking. For one, fucking prims. You know what I mean? What it's called? What's the prim thing? I know it's a 2.0 or whatever the hell it's called.
Prims 2.
You know
Prims
what I mean?
2.0, baby.
Man, let's get that up and running, man. Come on. Can we get this up and running? We got you got us out here doing these PFAs and getting stuff done. Then after the fact, you say, "Oh no, we ain't gonna enter this because some fucking, prims ain't up." Come on, man. We could do better. We could do better, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
It's kind of late in the game for this, but for what we normally do, but I want to take a moment for us to honor a hero.
Yeah.
Right. So for the day, Major Smedley Butler, right? If you never heard of that name, you're probably not a Marine. Which means that's a name that I want to say the Marines know and they know well, right? So he was in 5th Company, 13th Company, 23rd Company. Mm-hmm. This is a 2-time Medal of Honor winner, right? And I'm not going to read the citation as much as I'm going to read this piece that I got from the Military Medal of Honor, the National Medal of Honor Museum. So Major General Smetly Butler, 2-time Medal of Honor recipient. Major General Smetly Butler, a native Pennsylvanian, was one of 19 Medal of Honor recipients to receive the award twice for separate actions. Butler had a long military career, serving in the Spanish-American War in Cuba, the Philippine-American War in Manila, the Boxer Rebellion in China, the Banana Wars in the Caribbean and Central America, and World War I. In April 1914, the then major courageously led his comrades through a firefight in Veracruz, Mexico, facing street fights and sniper fire. The forces led a door-to-door search to root out any remaining members of the resistance and were able to successfully occupy the city and maintain a position for 6 months as the final occupation of Veracruz during the Mexican Revolution. For his unwavering leadership and courage, Butler was presented with his first Medal of Honor. Major General Butler's second medal recognized his unparalleled courage and bravery during the American occupation of Haiti in 1915. During the occupation, Butler led the attack on Fort Revere in order to seize and escape of the Keiko resistance, an unorganized, rugged resistance that thrived off the lower caste of society in Haiti. Another signaling attack, Marines forced entry and battled the Caicos in hand-to-hand combat. For his valiant actions that aided in the security of the city, Assistant Secretary to the Navy Franklin D. Roosevelt recommended Butler for the Medal of Honor. Major Butler received his second medal from President Wilson in 1917. Now, I got a little bit more. In addition to his impressive military career, Major General Butler is credited with the creation of the unofficial mascot for the Marine Corps, the Bulldog. Major General Butler enlisted the first Bulldog, King Bulwark, later renamed Jiggs, for official Marine duties in 1922, where Jiggs was enlisted during a formal ceremony in October. During the ceremony, Major General Butler signed enlistment papers, noting that the term of Private Jiggs' contract was life, and his duties included sit, stay, and lie down. The Marine Corps has upheld the tradition of Bulldog mascot and recently introduced Chesley XV as its newest recruit. So that's Major Smetly Butler.
Yeah, man. I don't have, this is the reason why we do this, man. Listen to stories like that. So we're gonna continue to do this, man. But I tell you, man, I don't think we have read one story that was not worthy that to be read, man. So with that being said, man, the things these guys do and the things the way they put they life and on the line is crazy to me, man. And I will say every time I read any of this stuff, man, I'm reading or you reading it. I don't know what I'd do if I was put in some of these circumstances, man. But I hope I can even come close to do any of the things that these guys did in their life.
Hey, so Major Smedley Butler, not only, was he a declarated like Marine and like, been in all these wars and great fighter and stuff like that. When he retired, because he did like 33 years in the Marine Corps. When he retired, he became an advocate against the business of war. He actually became a big advocate. It's like, it's stories or rumors or whatever you want to say about him even wanting to overthrow FDR as the president. So, he did his time. He did 33 years. He got out and then he started looking at war like, hey, was I just a weapon? Was I just being used? Was I just being taken advantage of? Like, this is a big business here. You know what I'm saying? So he had a lot of issues with war and just, everything, about it on the side of money and lives being lost for, personal gain or financial gain and stuff like that. So he went super hard to fight against that.
Yeah.
And I mean, all of that, some stories about him popped up recently too, because stories about January 6th popped up, and I don't want to talk about January 6th at all, really. But stories about January 6th popped up. And, so since the beginning of, since government, people been fighting government and fighting some, the ways. or whatever. So that's something that Smetly was doing after. So I don't know now how, how government feels about, General Smetly, but I do want to say that his acts during his time while he was serving with us, I mean, we definitely want to salute him for that.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely, man. Big time. Big time.
You heard about the Brandon Act?
The Branding Act.
The Brandon Act.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I read a little bit about it, man. First I start off with by saying this, man. It's a big deal, right? It's a big deal, especially in the Navy. I can't talk to every branch, but I'm sure I'm gonna assume it's probably the same, right? Mental health is a big deal, right? So with that being said, man, I really do think we are doing a better job when it comes to trying to help sailors out when it comes to their mental health and what they doing, right? So I think the Brandon Act is going to help get these sailors or whoever come up with anything mental health related the help they need, get them evaluated. That's the key to it, man. Like getting them evaluated. I have seen circumstances where it take months, right? Like you go in there, you get evaluated, it may take months or whatever. So I do think this is we are still going in the right direction when it comes to mental health. And I'll be sitting up here lying if I didn't if I'm talking about when I came in the Navy to now. That's what I mean by I think we got a upward trajectory when it comes to the mental health side of it, because I remember back in the day, nobody even you was weak if you can't say anything about mental health. You was weak, right? And I think now we're in a different level with this stuff, and we're getting people the help they need. And we getting it there faster, man. I mean, it may not be as fast as everybody want it to be, but I do think we are trying. The Navy is trying to get people help they need. So yeah, I think this is another one of those things that's going to help that out.
Yeah, and then shout out, the family too. Brandon Caserta, his parents.
Oh yeah.
They found letters from him saying that he was being bullied by peers, by superiors, stuff like that. He committed. He voluntarily transitioned. Out of this world. So one of the things that I do want to say about that is it's definitely helps when it comes to that stigma that a lot of sellers get, that if they do say something, if they do reach out for help, they're going to be put on some kind of wait list.
Yeah.
They're not going to get help immediately. You know what I mean? So it helps that it's still the president still got to sign it, so it's passed by Senate, but the president still got to sign it. But it definitely helps with that part. It also lets you get help out in town. You don't gotta, get help. You don't have to go through the military if that's not working. So the Brandon Act passed through Senate. So it passed in Senate. So that's good stuff.
Most definitely a big deal, man. Big deal.
So Mark just graduated boot camp.
Yeah. So
was he the last of the 8 weeks?
Mark
was he the last of the 8 weekers?
And I actually asked him that question, man, up there, man. So he was the last of the 8 weeks, man.
Yeah.
So now they have started this 10-week thing, man. And I've been slowly like trying to pick his brain, like since he got done with it, like what are they saying about it or whatever. And I think one of the things was though they're gonna do. Talking to him seems like they're gonna still do their normal 8 weeks, right? But the ring, they're gonna give him some additional training, and the ring's gonna loosen up a little bit, right? On them, it's gonna be more of them doing getting some extra training. And I tell you, I read a little bit about it, and one of the extra training I read about was finances. Hey, it may be at the end of 22, 23 that I might be saying that is my big deal for 22. We talking about giving these young people some financial training? What? Let's go.
Yeah, but that's a small part though.
Huh? No. Yes, that's a small part. Yes, that's a small part. I get it, but the fact of I wish I had some financial training coming in, man. I wish I had some financial training in high school shit. You know what I mean? Like talking
You
about,
ain't have financial training?
man, like talking about credit and shit, all that stuff. Hell no.
Did Navy Fed ain't walk in when y'all was like sitting round robin style? A representative from Navy Fed ain't walk in there and talk to y'all?
I'm not. Yes, the banks came in there to try to get your shit, right? But I'm talking about no shit training. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? No breaking stuff down and talking about some financial stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's what kind of training they're gonna do when it comes to financial. That could be the same thing. You're right. They can have somebody just walk in and just talk about some stuff. But I hope they could get in like in depth and teach some people some stuff about financial, about savings, about IRAs, about your TSP, get in depth with it a little bit more so people can understand it. A lot of times, man, people just hear stuff. When you don't understand it, you don't want to apply yourself. You don't want to put money in something that you really don't understand. So if they understand it, they probably put money in stuff and save more money. Yeah, it's my take on it, man. But yeah, 10 weeks, man. Two more additional weeks, man. Which, the whole thing happened though, so I didn't understand the fact they say still doing the 8 weeks. So I'm assuming they still doing the battle stations. They still doing all that stuff. So does that mean the graduation still happening right after they do the battle stations, or are they gonna wait the 2 weeks then do the graduation? So I kind of like look through off on that a little bit.
It don't seem like the graduation happening. So it says that they doing the battle stations, right? They're gonna finish the battle stations. So it says I got it right here on military.com. It says with the latest, it says recruits will spend 8 weeks going through the typical phases of instruction that culminate with the battle station's capstone event. At the end of the 12-hour scenario, then they talk about what kind of destroyer. Okay, recruits are given a Navy ball cap that symbolizes their transition to full-fledged soldiers. With the latest change, however, sailors would not move on to graduation after the Crucible event, but rather stay with their training cohort for an extra 2 weeks and receive additional instruction, albeit under less intense conditions. So like you said, like the RDCs, they're going to take the RDC hat off a little bit. Like, hey, I'm Petty Officer Jones.
What's up?
You know what I mean?
What's up, bro?
Like the whole time.
What's up, bro?
I hope you ain't take too much of the last 8 weeks.
This is the real me right here. This is the real me.
But they pull back. They pull back around like week 6, week 7 anyway. Like, normally from what I remember, they pull back a lot. I don't know about when you went through boot camp, like how they did with y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
like the last week it was cool.
And
like,
I pretty much had a blast after service week. They don't even do service week no more, man. Did you do service week?
I think so. I don't remember everything.
Yeah.
You know what I remember more than anything in boot camp? I remember every time I got in trouble.
Yeah.
And I remember getting my canteen slapped out my head. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. I remember getting my canteen slapped out my head by Petty Officer Root, PO1 Root. But I was, I like we got in ranks and I was thirsty. You know what I mean? So I took a swig. I didn't know, like they say hydrate. So I took a swig. I'm putting a cap on, dude. Almost had to, and I think that's the part I was madder about because the cap wasn't on. My man came through from the heavens, swooped the canteen. That joint went, so everything after that just hurt. You know what I mean? Like to watch the canteen like hockey puck through the deck, and then watch the water like spill out of the canteen, man. And then to know that I had to go pick up my canteen. I had to walk to pick the canteen up, right? Shamefully, right? I had to walk to pick the cap up for the canteen, shamefully. I had to walk to get a swab up the water, refill my canteen, and get back in ranks while everybody was waiting for me.
Wait for you.
You know, that was a memorable moment for me.
And then don't try to act like a badass and take your time while you're doing it. No,
you better get to moving.
You better be moving.
Yeah. Every time we walk, moving. I remember. So they called me. They was looking for RPOX, man.
Yeah.
So they called me the first day. I was like the first name they called is a Petty. Come up, and I walked like a Philly, I come. You know what I'm saying? The dude was like, get back. You know what I mean? He said something to get the back. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like all I did. And then he's like, when next time we call somebody, we need y'all to say moving, Petty Officer. So I'm thinking gonna be my turn again. You know, they call somebody else. It was over for me,
that was
man.
It, man. You probably were the
Yeah.
section leader. You wouldn't know.
I was a section leader.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
So at least you got another try
I was a
at
section
something.
leader.
That's good.
Yeah. But I wasn't the best. Like my rack was the best.
Yeah.
My rack was the best in my section,
Nice.
like all the time. And then my dudes, yeah, but it was just my rack. Like my section had bad racks. like that was like the thing. That was like my lesson in boot camp. Like, yo, you need to worry about, like, as much as you try to be a perfectionist, you need to worry about your team.
Yeah,
you know.
Man.
Then I found out after boot camp. I think I talked about it before on this podcast, but I found out after boot camp that my boy Buster, like, and that's his name, Buster, but like he would like mess up his rack on purpose just so they could work me out because he liked to see, you know, me get beat or whatever like that. Like I found that out later.
Oh, that's dirty, man. You dirty, Buster.
Yeah, like
Buster, you
he
dirty,
was
man.
dirty. Yeah, he was dirty.
Funny as shit though.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But yeah, so it says we're gonna change the nature of the relationship between the instructors and these sellers to more of a coaching and mentoring relationship where we can have in-depth conversations about what life is really like. I mean, and that's something that we talk about. That's why we podcast.
Yeah.
That's something we talked about in the podcast that we got coming up. That's a lot of what we always talk about, right? So they talked about some additional training aimed for addressing problems within a culture, not just the Navy, but the military overall, like sexual assault, suicide prevention, healthy lifestyle, life skills, like you said, financial, not as much on extremism, but maybe a little bit, but more on the model behaviors that we want to contribute to the culture of the Navy. And I believe that this is going to be good.
Yeah.
I believe that this is going to be good. But they got all of it. It says that like all of this stuff is coming from the fleet. Like this is like feedback from leaders. And I could see a leader saying that, yo, we're like, what's up? What's going on in boot camp? Like, why we got people coming, like, act like they never knew how to do this, or never knew how to do that, or never knew how to do that. Because sometimes you get some new check-ins that's just completely out of it, man.
Like a bag of ass.
Yeah, man, it's scary, you know, and I love my junior sellers, but sometimes it's super scary about that, you know, and that's why I brought up DC earlier, because I got a seller that just like one of my sellers, I don't want to get too deep, but she got to a new command and she posted and she's like, yo, it was a fire, an actual fire, you know, and now mind you, she, you know, you starting off kind of like in like a shore duty situation, so there's no even damage control training, you know what I mean? So she's like, yo, I get to my ship and on the very first day I check in, it's a fire, you know what I mean? And she's like, I didn't know what to do. She's like, I'm passing out gear, and for me, I'm like, yo, you did something. You found a way to get in there and help. You might not have known. She was like, I was so embarrassed, so ashamed. You might not have known what to do, but you find a way to get in there and you passed out gear. Another seller got on, made an egregious comment that I don't even want to think about, but that's what made me think about like you cannot, not the initial post, but more like the other comment that I don't want to think about. But that's what made me think about the fact that DC damage control is not an option. That's not something that you could just do, fake out, or something you need to know. And everybody, in my opinion, needs to know how to fight a fire on a ship.
Yeah. Fire, flooding, everything, man. I agree totally with you, man. And I do think this extra weeks is gonna be a good deal, man. But with that being said, man, I like to reach out to an RDC out there, man, and to come on, or at least put in the comment box and let us know the expectations of these 2 weeks, man. I really like to know from a hands-on, from the RDC standpoint, what is going to look like. What are these 2 weeks going to look like? And then I know it's some sailors that's there right now in that 8 weeks, and then 2 weeks later they're gonna be done. So I like to even talk to some of them if anybody can reach out, man. Let us know, man. We most definitely would like to get the insights, man. You know, to share this. So I don't work with junior sailors at all, so I can't. I probably won't be getting anybody coming to my command.
Yeah. So let's talk about books.
Okay, what you got, man?
Will Smith. Will by Will Smith. Right. I'm gonna start off with what my opinion, my rating of it. Like I'm gonna start off like that just to kind of make everything clear. It's a 5-star book. Probably a 6-star book. Audio book. For audiobooks, it's probably 6 stars. He covered any part of ground that needs to be covered. And I'm not even talking about the content. I'm talking about the way in which he executed for an audio book. So if he was referencing a song, you actually heard it, like you could hear it. It was almost like a production. It's Will Smith, so everything he do is kind of like a production quality. You see his Instagram, it'd be like 8K videos on his Instagram. So everything he do is like this big, big scale. Is what he can't do nothing small. You know what I mean? But so on account of the production quality, that was like 6 out of 5. Like it was great, like incredible. Like from like every chapter, man, he would talk about his life. Of course he did impersonation. So anybody that he talked about, if they had a unique voice, he impersonated their voice. But I'm telling you, like, it was scenes from like Fresh Prince, like in the book, like you could hear scenes. Like if he mentioned it, if he'd be like, yo, this was like my scariest moment ever. And then you would hear the scene from Fresh Prince. It was mute. He had some guy when he talked about his grandma. It was gospel music. When he talked about his like the first time he heard a song on the radio, he actually played back the countdown of like all of the songs as he was like thinking that his song wasn't going to be on the radio. It was number 1, so he played back from like I think number 5. It was great, man. It made me kind of think about where we put Will Smith in terms of hip hop. Like it made me think about where we put him, because he's like one of the first artists, hip hop artists. I mean, he did win the first Grammy, of course, but he's like one of the first hip hop artists. He came around. He was like a sophomore. If the forefathers were like freshmen, well, he was like second tier forefather. Like if they came in first tier, he was like second tier. He was right there, like mid 80s.
I agree, man.
So that part, and then like what he did in Hollywood is unprecedented, and it'll probably never be done again as a solo actor, right? So if anybody never heard me give Will Smith his props, I'm giving him his props right now, right? What he done in music, and then the transition at the highest level that you can make music to into acting on TV, at the highest level that you can do TV as a black actor, right? At the highest level that he could do TV, his own TV show with his own name that he pretty much controlled when it went off, and he was as like his almost first time acting type stuff was great. Then the transition over to Hollywood and execute that at the highest level, like he had like a 7-year stretch, or 5, 6, 7-year stretch of all hits, like all number 1 blockbuster movies. Like I think from Independence Day to like I Am Legend or something like that. It's just crazy. Like nobody else has done that. No single actor has done that with that many hits. Right? It's better actors, it's people that a whole bunch of other stuff, but nobody done that with that many hits, right? So I want to give him his props there. So the production quality of the book, give him his props. And then the content, man, the content of the book, man, the stories, every chapter had a story. Everything was like perfectly pieced together. The way he ended the book was perfect, man. The things he started out with, the demons he dealt with, the things he had to fight, his fears, everything came to a head by the end of the book. So it was perfectly paced, perfectly written from start to finish. It's great. I know Oprah said it's the best autobiography she ever read. And Oprah pissed me off every now and then, but I can agree. It's like, as far as audiobooks, it's the best one I listen to. It's narrated by him.
Oh yeah.
And if you got the book, I strongly suggest getting an audiobook. I don't know how the book could even compare to the audiobook. This was great. This was great. I didn't care about the juice between like some of that Jada Pinkett and Will stuff. I didn't really care about like the salacious stuff that they got going on. I cared about a lot of other stuff and the beginning of their romance and like that story. It was good, man. It was real good.
That's good, man. You got me pumped up about it, man. I think I'm gonna go out and buy it now, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yo, get it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah.
Start it tonight, man. It's great.
Most definitely, man. So now I guess we at the movie, man. The movie. So
yeah, well, we switched it up this week, though. Well, we switched it up for the next 10 episodes, really.
Yeah.
Because we doing a TV show.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you guys know we always do movies and things like that. But you're right, Demo. We put out before that we was doing the Band of Brothers, and we all know Band of Brothers is a TV show. So we did episode 1, man.
Yeah.
The review of episode 1, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. But I tell you this, man. It's off to a good start with me though. You know, I like movies. I mean, I like TV shows like this, man. And it has me thinking that what's going to happen in the next episode because I don't know what's going to happen. So, it got me thinking. It got me ready to watch the next one. Put it like that. So, this was more about, you know, they had an airborne crew. They making an airborne crew, right? And you got different type of leadership style. That's what I got out of this whole first episode. Different leadership styles, right? We had this one guy. I felt like he was a good leader when it comes to the training, the basic training, and to push him, but he wasn't good in the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was pretty much garbage in the field, man. And one in one part of the episode on there, they was talking about when he said, "Hey, I'm not." They tried to do a mutiny or some shit. They did not want to follow this guy to war.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, we're not doing this. Of
course, they try to get out.
Of course, he told him to get their ass out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you could die. They'll kill your ass for shit y'all trying to pull right now, type shit. So
yeah.
Other than that, man, the episode, it was pretty good, man. It tells you, it teaches you some things about things like you think about behind the scenes. That's how I look at it, man. Like, you got this one guy in charge, and now he got an XO, then he got another lieutenant that's with him, but you hear them talking amongst each other about his ass because they know he's not good. Yeah. You know what I mean? They know, so it kind of gives you like this behind the scene look at how they thinking when it comes to their leader. You know what I mean? Which was not good in the field. You know, he was always trying to be a hard ass, and he wanted to be the best, but he just seemed to me like he didn't know how to lean on his people who knew the field and knew how to do things. I think if he leaned on them a little bit more, he'd have been more successful. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they pulled that little thing on him at the end of the episode, man, and say, you better suit it somewhere else. So
yeah, so that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about that in a second. I want to get into some of the facts. So this episode 1 is called Currahee.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like stands for like, it's kind of like weird if you look it up. If you know exactly what that means, let me know. But it seems like it says like as one, together, as one, even if it's many of us, we're one. So it's Currahee. And this is about Easy Company, right? The 506 regiment of the 101st Airborne, right? World War II. We've been attacked. We've been attacked by, Japanese forces already, so it's about the response. So the first thing that stuck out to me was the pre-show segments.
Yeah.
Right? Did you watch the pre-show segments?
You talking about when it was talking in the beginning, right? Yeah, like the actual people, right?
Yeah. So that was the first thing where it was people saying like, yo, they were willing to join whatever branch.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know?
They was ready to go regardless.
They was willing, And that's the connection to, Poitier and Betty White, where it was like Poitier, like, yo, I'm lying to get in. And Betty White, like, hey, I'm signing up to volunteer. I'm helping out.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing stuck out where they like, yo, they willing to join whatever branch. They just want to serve. Yeah. And then when the dude said it was people that committed suicide because they didn't get selected.
Yeah, man. That's crazy too.
I can't imagine that happening now.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
No, me either.
It's people that if you ask them if they ready to just get out, they would roll right now. It's people that it's people that's in the military now that if it was a war, I can't say that they wouldn't be like, yo, can I leave? You know, so we talk about civilians committing suicide.
Can we get out?
Yeah. We talk about civilians committing suicide because they can't stay in.
Yeah.
But so I start watching the show, and in less than 10 minutes, I saw a leader that would be in hot water if it was like 2022, right? And that was Lieutenant Sobel, right? In less than 10 minutes. So I took notes like as I went through. And that's the first thing I noticed. I didn't even know how the show was going to end up. I didn't even think it was going to end up where he, actually, where things actually happened. I just thought that was, because remember, when you think back Full Metal Jacket and other movies and stuff like that, they always got like this hard, like kind of like leader somewhere, in the story. But Full Metal Jacket, that was like basic training. Like these guys were like training for that, for that regimen, to be paratroopers or whatever like that, right? So that was different. They had already done whatever I think would have been their basic training, or whatever like that. So I was thinking about that. Like all military movies have a hard and like superior officer or whatever. And that's David Schwimmer, right? So he played Lieutenant Sobel. And then this was a brand new concept, right? Paratroopers was a brand new thing. Never heard of it before. So the word that stuck out to me in this movie was, the sentence was when somebody was like, Sobel's lost again, right? If I was to name the episode, that's what I would have named it. Sobel's lost again. So it kind of showed you that, like, yo, you could be this hard ass, you could be like this dude that's like trying to do this and do this, but yo, you got a very high chance to lose your people. Yeah. If you don't center what you're doing, for your people. And then the other dude was Lieutenant Winters. And that was the dude that they like. Remember when he got promoted to like XO? And then Sobel was like, and the dude was like, well, I'm not going to promote him. I'm going to let you do it. And then when Sobel did it, he's like, yo, you promoted. Now go work in the galley, pass out food or whatever.
Days or some bullshit.
He had him do. So, he got reassigned, right? I'm going to talk to you about the reassignment in a second, though. Another part that stuck out to me was the no jump tonight. Mm-hmm. It was like 2 days. It was like 2 days before D-Day.
Yeah.
And it was like, no jump tonight. And it was like, yo, that's so, like, how many deployments have I been on that, like, right before we supposed to go out? I mean, this LCS. Right before we supposed to go out, is like, nah, we're not going out today. We're not going out today. You got everything paid. They like, there's nothing else for us to do but just go watch a movie. And these dudes are ready to fight. Yeah. And it looked like it's about to go down next episode. You know what I mean? It looked like it's about to happen.
When you think about that, man, it's like the ship's getting ready to get on the way, right? Then it's we ain't getting on the way today. Everybody happy as hell. Oh shit, yay! These dudes are mad right now.
No, they ready to go.
They are mad that they not leaving. They're not going.
Yeah, people on the ship, they like, yo, do we get like 2 hours of liberty? Like, I want to go out and get some Chick-fil-A. Like. So one of the things I want to say is that this show is from like 2001, right? So it's like 21 years old, but the production value is great, man. Like it doesn't, like I'm watching it on my OLED and all that, but the OLED, you know what I'm saying? Got that OLED hooked up, but I'm watching it on an OLED, but this thing looks amazing. Like the choice of cause Tom Hanks wrote it and I think he was a big producer on it, but like to make the choice to use those cameras kind of give it like a timeless kind of effect. So that production value to me was great. I can't wait to see some of the war scenes and stuff like that. And I think they got a Band of Brothers, another sweet sequel to Band of Brothers coming out next year or this year. But you can see the level of care, like looking at like the airplanes, looking at the jets, looking at the guns, looking at everything. You could see that they really cared about representing what like we look like in those times. Like I said, it looked like the action is about to start, and this is like days before D-Day. Like the next episode is going to be D-Day. But my question for you is this: like, so Lieutenant Sobel, he got reassigned, right? So if you never saw Band of Brothers, first off, go watch it. You might think this episode is slow, but I liked it because it had its own conflict, and that was the leadership conflict that Damon was just talking about. But so at the end of all of this, Sobel, he get in the room with his superior, and the superior was like, hey man, y'all doing some good training. You did some good training with these guys. Now mind you, his guys don't really trust his leadership, right? They don't trust his leadership or whatever like that. So, he in the room with the superior like, hey, good training. As a matter of fact, your training is so good that, I want to reassign you to a training facility. Like you just gotta go train. So now my question for you is, do you think that he knew that Sobel was like trash in the field, like, and that his guys didn't want to work for him or any? You think he knew
that's
that?
why he did it. So in the show, they can't. When it was like 6 of them didn't want to go to. They didn't want to go in the field with him. So I think that what got him.
Yeah, they was gonna turn in their stripes.
Yeah. So what happened was he took that part, say, hey, get out of my office, it ain't happening. But then he knew then that the boy was garbage as a leader. I think they gave him the insight. Say, okay, we gotta get rid of this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing about it, he never talked to so far anyway. He never talked to the executive officer about him though. You know what I mean? So he came up.
Remember he tried to salute him. Remember he tried to salute Sobu.
Well, I'm talking about the head guy. They never talked to winners.
I know.
Yeah, he never talked to winners about the guy that was in charge.
Yeah, but do you remember when Winners tried to salute him and he ain't returning?
Nothing. Pissed. Nothing. He was pissed.
So you think? Yeah, I think the head dude. I think he knew too, but he was slick with it, man.
Yeah,
like the way he worded everything.
He was smooth now.
Like it was like one of them. I want to learn from that type of like leadership because he was like straight to the point. You know, raw with it. He worded it like super professional to where like it wouldn't even offend the dude. And then it was like it ain't no questions after
he couldn't even come back. He was like he wanted to say some shit, but he just like he didn't know how to say it. He pretty much telling you you great. He's telling you you're great. So you can't come back.
Matter of fact,
on that.
So good.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you so good. Yeah. We go say you over there.
Yeah. I think the only thing that got him was he asked him who's gonna replace him.
Oh yeah. And then he said, the other dude. And the other dude looked like he about to be straight too. He looked like, know, he playing a lot of all these actors playing a whole bunch of stuff. So so first episode is good. Like started off kind of slow. I give it like a 4 out of 5. I don't think I'm gonna really review. I don't think we should review the show. I think we should just kind of talk about it and then review it as a whole when we finish. So for the next 9 weeks, we're gonna be doing Band of Brothers episodes, so look out for those.
Yeah, man, off to a good start, man. Off to a pretty good start, man. So I can't wait, man, to watch it this week, man, and have another view of episode 2. So yeah, it's gonna be good, man.
Yeah. So, hey, welcome to PTSF, all the new listeners. PTSF 2022. I don't think we ever recorded in January, ever. So this is a first for us. We were on a long break before, but we appreciate your listenership. We got a, big guest, a big topic next week. Martin Luther King Day next week. We got a big guest, big topic. It's going to be, we're going to have a whole lot of content next week. We just kind of did some catching up today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We did some catching up. But we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Get yourself some merch, man.
Get some merch, man. And also with that being said, man, go Niners, man. Beat Cowboys. Let's go, man. Go Niners. Beat Cowboys. Niners. And let me tell you, hey, I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time that it's a house divided. Because my wife's a big Cowboy fan. So it's a house divided. Yeah. So I'll let you guys know how that go next week. If we start the show off and you see, I'm a little down and out. You guys know why, man. But if I'm happy as hell and pumped, we got that victory, man.
Yeah, man.
Good times, man.
Peace out.
All right, peace out, guys. Holla at your boy.